knocks that one away. Here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's Boston. An and one.
Every sport has its unforgettable moments, the kind of games that leave you speechless, shaking your head, wondering, did that really just happen? September 4th, 2024, was one of those nights. Clark and Aliyah Boston didn't just show up, they took over. In a jaw-dropping showdown between the Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Sparks, these two didn't just shine, they dominated. Clark and Boston were more than stars, they were a force of nature, leading the Fever to a statement win that sent shockwaves through the league. Indiana had already clinched their first playoff berth in 8 years. This game was the exclamation point. It reminded everyone exactly why Clark and Aliyah Boston are must-see talent, and seriously, if you're not already a fan, you're missing out on something special.
It's a triple-double for Caitlin! What a reaction by Kelsey!
The Indiana Fever, a team with a proud legacy, were gearing up for a high-stakes showdown against the star-studded Los Angeles Sparks, led by standout talents like Lexi Brown. The energy was electric, the stage set for a clash of titans. The Sparks came in ready to impose their will, dominate the glass, and push the pace. But the Fever weren't backing down. From the opening tip, they were locked in defensively, determined to defend their home court.
It's in his second year in LA, after spending 7 years in Connecticut.
The Fever came out swinging, setting the tone early with a quick lead that sent a clear message: they meant business. But the Sparks weren't about to fold. Fueled by relentless energy, they amped up the intensity with a suffocating full-court press and hard-nosed defense. It was crystal clear, they hadn't come to play nice, they came to fight.
Sparks offense just 11th in the WNBA as Odyssey Sims gets inside and finishes.
As the pace intensified, Clark began to remind everyone why she's one of the league's elite. With the ball in her hands, she took command, reading the defense like a seasoned pro and slicing through defenders with effortless precision. Then came the moment, a pinpoint pass threaded perfectly to Aliyah Boston, who was poised in the paint. Without hesitation, Boston finished the play with a smooth, confident layup that brought the crowd to its feet.
Mental toughness.
You're right, Pat. I mean, you look at LA's lost 7 of 8, but the one win is New York, the top team in the league.
And it's Boston who gets inside and lays it in.
Moments later, Clark pulled up with confidence and drained a crisp mid-range jumper, adding some much-needed points to the board and keeping the Fever's momentum alive. It was the kind of shot that silences doubt and sparks belief. Vintage Clark, delivering.
Clark with the hesitation. Clark gets inside and lays it in.
Even with the game still finding its rhythm, Clark and Boston made it clear they were locked in and ready to take charge. By the end of the first quarter, the Fever held a narrow edge, leading 23-19, while the Sparks kept the pressure high with their trademark energy. But as the second quarter began, the momentum started to shift. The Sparks came out with renewed fire, aggressive, focused, and determined to flip the narrative. They took control of the tempo, capitalizing on fast breaks and making smart, decisive plays. For a moment, it felt like the game might start slipping away from the Fever.
Only got one more road game left in the entire season. Fever have just been sloppy here so far.
Well, they haven't gotten anything easy. They've had to execute in the quarter court. And now LA's starting to make shots.
But then, Clark flipped the script. With her trademark court vision on full display, she fired a precision pass to Boston in the paint. Boston powered through the defense and finished strong at the rim, slicing into the Sparks' lead and swinging the momentum back in the Fever's favor.
Gone. They've been gone.
Clark, good feed into Boston with deep position.
As the game progressed, the connection between Clark and Boston only grew stronger. Boston began to dominate the paint, asserting her presence with authority. With another slick assist from Clark, threaded perfectly through the defense, Boston finished the play with ease, keeping the Fever right.
Allowed me in there. It's always a learning laboratory when you're in the gym with these coaches in the W because they work so hard at their schemes.
Returning the favor, Boston dished out a smooth assist to Mitchell, setting her up perfectly for a clean finish. It was a beautiful display of unselfish basketball and team chemistry, keeping the Fever's offense humming.
The bench has 21 of their 44 points as Boston backdoor cut. It's Mitchell.
And that play has worked.
It was teamwork at its finest, and the Fever were steadily clawing their way back up the scoreboard. By halftime, the Sparks had outscored the Fever and held the lead, but Clark and Aliyah Boston kept Indiana within striking distance. Clark displayed her playmaking brilliance with 9 points and 6 assists, while Boston controlled the paint with 14 points and 6 rebounds. Coming out of halftime, Clark seized control. She drained her first three-pointer of the game, igniting the
Clark with 9 points, 7 assists here so far. Clark crossing over and dropping a three.
3 triples.
Clark trying to answer. You bet. So far tonight, and his offense has been a little out of sync at times. Boston spinning inside, right around McDonald.
Beautiful move.
Working on McDonald, who gives it a swipe. Clark, step back, hits a three.
5 triples. Caitlin, go ahead and shoot till your arm falls off.
And Mitchell knocks that one away. Here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's Boston, an and one.
It's right next to the scoreboard, so I think everybody's pretty aware of what's happening. I mean, honestly, like, somebody had to get the rebound, and I was actually the closest one to the ball, so.
It's just about reading the floor and taking what the defense gives you. I feel like I just try to let the game come to me and not force it. So if it's a night where I have more assists than anything else, then that's what it's going to be. And then if it's a night where I can score the ball and get rebounds and assert myself on the boards, and that's what it's going to be. It's really just taking what they give me.